For the past 2 years, this little silver box has been my main editing rig. Honestly, it has been flawless. I couldn't find a single thing to complain about, but recently something shifted. It feels like it is dragging its feet, and it forced me to ask a scary question. Is it time to ditch the Mac Mini and drop some serious cash on a massive upgrade? Or is Apple about to release the M5 Pro Mac Mini and make me look like an absolute fool for buying right now? To understand why this hurts so much, we have to go back in time. Do you remember the dark ages before Apple Silicon? I was editing on an old Intel iMac. It was totally fine for basic graphic design, but the second I started making YouTube videos, it basically went on strike. A simple 10-minute video shot on a phone took nearly an hour to export. Heaven forbid I found a typo in the edit. That meant staring at a progress bar for another solid hour. I literally used to go make a sandwich, eat it, clean up the kitchen, and the Mac would still be rendering. I needed a lifeboat, and that lifeboat was the M1 Max MacBook Pro. That thing was absolute magic. 45-minute exports turned into 5 minutes. The fans never even spun up. It made me think we would never need to buy new computers ever again. Initially, that laptop was all I needed, but then I moved into a dedicated studio space. Hauling an expensive, heavy laptop back and forth every single day got old really fast. The anxiety of dropping it on the pavement was real. So, I picked up the M4 Pro Mac Mini to leave permanently at the studio. I maxed it out within reason. I opted for lots of RAM, decent storage, and most importantly, the 10 gig Ethernet port. I'm totally obsessed with my NAS setup right now. Every time I finish a shoot, the SD card gets dumped straight to the NAS. I edit all my photos and videos directly off the network. It saves me from paying ridiculous monthly cloud storage fees. So that super fast network port on the back of the Mac Mini is not just a flex. It is the absolute backbone of how I make my videos. But back to the problem. The Mac Mini was a dream until it wasn't. You know how you get a feel for your computer's rhythm? You know exactly how fast apps should bounce before they open. Lately, things are just hovering a bit too long. Web pages are sticking. The video timeline stutters. I honestly thought I knew the culprit. It has been incredibly hot here lately, and my studio does not have great AC. I touched the Mac Mini one afternoon, and it was practically roasting. I used to leave it running all day and night, thinking servers run all the time. Right? Yeah, servers in giant refrigerators. So, I started turning it off at night. That actually helped a little in the mornings, but the sluggishness always crept back by lunch. I got so desperate, I actually cleared my browser cache. That never fixes anything, and spoiler alert, it didn't fix this either. My internet is gigabit. Everything is hardwired, so it wasn't a network glitch. Then the hard truth finally hit me. It is not the room temperature, and it is not the cache. It is me. My workflow has mutated. I used to shoot basic footage. Now, it is heavy 10-bit log files. I am slapping heavy VFX plugins on every single clip. Those plugins used to render in a blink, but now the timeline just snags. I'm simply pushing this machine past its breaking point, and thermal throttling is kicking in hard. This means I have a big, expensive problem to solve, and the rumor mill is not making my life any easier. Mark Gurman has been dropping hints that Cupertino is already gearing up for the next generation. If you look at the supply chain, Ming-Chi Kuo is pointing out that TSMC 3 nanometers yields are practically stabilizing at record speeds. Wait, really? Because honestly, I'll believe it when I see it, but the data is hard to ignore. We are also seeing leaks from Shrimp Apple Pro suggesting there could be internal thermal redesigns coming. And Ross Young recently chimed in about new display controller tech being prepped for the next wave of desktop Macs. When you cross-reference those claims with international reports, things get even messier for my wallet. Sources like Macotakra and the LEC have been tracking component shipments that strongly hint at a massive production ramp-up for the upcoming M5 chips. DG Times recently corroborated this, showing that Apple is locking in massive orders with suppliers right now. This makes pulling the trigger on a new machine today feel incredibly risky. Option 1 is to bring that old reliable M1 Max laptop back to the studio. It is still a beast, but it does not have 10 gig Ethernet. I could buy an adapter, but they cost over $100 and they run super hot. Plus, they are glitchy. Sometimes you get the full speed, sometimes you don't. I really hate the look of a giant metal brick dangling off the side of a clean desk setup. Quick side note here, Apple, if you're listening, the Mac Studio should totally have 2 Ethernet ports. One normal one for the router and a 10 gig one for the NAS. It just makes seamless integration so much easier. Option 2 is the nuclear route. Buying an M4 Mac Studio. The big boy. It has the SD card slot right on the front, the 10 gig port built in, way better cooling, and dual video engines. It is the exact machine I need to fix this bottleneck and get my daily driver back on track. But here is the kicker. That configuration costs almost $4,000. That is a tough pill to swallow, and a perfect example of the Apple tax at work, especially with new M5 tech releases coming out soon that I will probably need to buy and review anyway. So I'm completely stuck. Do I try to squeeze more life out of the Mac Mini while waiting for the M5 Pro to officially drop? Do I wrestle with ugly network dongles on the laptop to save cash? Or do I bite the bullet on the $4,000 Mac Studio today and just accept the financial hit? I really want to know what you guys would do in my shoes. Drop a comment and tell me your strategy. Also, if you own an M4 Pro Mac Mini right now, is yours slowing down lately too? Part of me wonders if Apple is just throttling things because a new software update is right around the corner. We all love a good tech conspiracy theory, right?